So as it turns out, it takes me a lot of effort to make my hair look effortless. This is my regular schmegular out of the shower hair, and because the grass is always greener on the other side, I sometimes want my very easy to manage and smooth hair to have a little bit more oomph to it, a little more texture. So I'm going to show you how I give myself very easy undone mermaid style waves using just one very aggressive looking tool. So to prep my hair, I'm going to start by combing it all through and making sure there are no knots in it. And then I am going to spray it with a heat protectant. Never skip this step, because even if you are barely applying heat to your hair, which I am applying heat to my hair right now, but even in general, it will protect you. And even if you're going out this summer and you're going to be under the sun, it will protect your hair from drying out. So it's a great step to include regardless of what you're doing. Next, I'm going to section my hair. So I'm going to take everything from above my ear and tie it up. Now that that's all out of the way and I look like Mulan, I'm going to take the bottom section and split it into two. And I'm going to spray each section with a little bit of hairspray. I'm just using this one from Tresemme. It's the number 1 texture spray. And just doing a light coat over my hair and combing it through. And besides just holding the wave, this is also going to help separate the sections that you curl it in so that they don't mesh into one. So now that that's done, I'm going to split each of these sections into 2 or 3 sections. So I'm just going to do 2 because I'm not too fussy about the bottom sections. And taking my iron, which is heated to 210 degrees Celsius, I am going to turn it upside down, because when I turn it upside down, the top wave is going to go outwards. And I don't want that to be the case for the rest of my hair, and I'll explain why later. But for the bottom section, with that wave going upwards, being at the very root of my hair, it's going to lift all the hair above it. So just for this bottom section, I have the iron upside down and I'm clamping it as close to my root as possible without hurting my ear. And then I'm moving down and I'm placing the top barrel back in the wave created by the 3rd barrel in the 1st clamp. So it'll make more sense when the iron is turned around and I can show you where the hair is being placed, but just remember that for now. And you don't have to be really fussy with the waves in the bottom layer, because these ones are going to get covered up anyway, so as long as they have some texture, you're good. Same thing on this layer. So this is what you're left with in a matter of seconds. It's smooth, but it's still textured and just really nice and really easy to do. So I'm gonna repeat this on the other side. And as you can see, the first wave is going to go outwards. Be really careful to get as close as possible without burning your ear or your neck. And now, if you can see, the 3rd wave, it goes outward. So I'm gonna place the 1st barrel in the shape of the 3rd wave to keep the wave pattern smooth. You don't have to do that, but it's what I like to do for some of the sections of my hair. So if you can see, I just slid it right back in there. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. So there's the wave, back down. And then try and leave out some ends of your hair when you're curling them, but also get as many in as possible. So just gently feed them in so that it kind of looks undone. They're not all finishing at the same point of the wave. Okay, so that one is reaching the end versus this one is not. So then together they create a nice dimension. So now I've brought this section down and I've tied this one up. We're going through lots of different character looks right now. I'm going to spray it down again first. Be a little bit more thorough with your hairspray in these sections, because these are the ones that are going to be visible, so you want them to hold really well. Comb it through so you distribute the hairspray, and then starting from the back and working your way forward, I'm going to grab really, really small sections, just about that big, so that each wave has a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to turn the iron the right side up this time, because if the top wave goes out, it kind of looks like it looks a little retro. It looks like you have ears. So I want the top wave to go down this time and be a little bit more smooth. So I don't hold it for very long at the top section. I kind of focus more heat in the central sections, and then I'm light again towards the ends. And that too adds a differentiation of the wave, so it's not all smooth and all the same all the way down, and it looks a lot more natural that way. And because you've hairsprayed this section will also tend to stay a little separated from its adjacent section, so it looks nice and chunky, almost like it's a real wave in your hair. So again, same idea, not very long at the top, maybe 1, 2, 3, and then moving on down. Okay, so we've worked our way forward and we just have this one front section left. This is what the hair looks like. And as you can see, the waves aren't fitting into one another, which is exactly what we want. And I'm gonna show you how to be extra careful at the front sections to make the hair look its best. So taking this back section, I'm going to show you how I take it close to the root, but I don't hold it for long. So 1, 2, 3, and then I move on. This way it still has a wave pattern, but it doesn't become so shapely that it protrudes out of the rest of your hair and the shape of it. And then just working my way down. And say you can't fit the rest of your hair all in one barrel clamp, what you can do is just slide down. And the waves won't be perfect, but it's okay. We want them to look, like I said, undone. And even, okay, that does look perfect, never mind. But as you can see, the wave kind of just falls and then starts waving out in its pattern and isn't protruding out of the side of my head. Which, if you like that look, that is great, but it looks a little bit too retro to me. So 1, 2, 3, moving on. I also love doing these get ready with me videos because they remind me of university days where you and your girlfriends would get ready together. I don't get to do that anymore, and I miss it so much. In university, I think my favorite days were the ones where I could get my girlfriends ready to go out, and I wouldn't even be going out, but I just like to get them ready and get them in the mood, and then I would just make myself a dinner and stay at home and have a nice movie night by myself, and it was perfect. So this kind of is like nostalgia for me. There you go. So as you can see, again at the top, firstly, you want to make sure that your hair is smooth at the root before you do this. Otherwise it'll look a little more disheveled. But I didn't take the first wave very high towards my root. I kept it kind of right above my eyebrow, and I was light on it. So again, it's not bounding outwards, it's kind of falling. And while it's still hot, I'm just going to tuck it behind my ear, and then this is going to smooth it out even more while I work on the other side. Okay, so now we've done majority of our hair, it's looking great, and we just have this last front section to work on. So as with the last side, I'm just gonna show you how to be really careful here. So I'm gonna take the back section first, And again, when I do the top clamp, I'm not gonna hold it for very long, and I'm just gonna place the top wave right above my eyebrow, not too close. 3 seconds, that's it, and then we're moving forward. And I'm going to pull on it a little bit so that it smooths out the top wave, but as soon as I move on, I'm gonna give it some slack so I don't pull out the rest of the wave. And then I can't fit a whole clamp or that hair into a whole clamp, so I'm just going to slide it down. There you go. Now, for these last 2 sections, I'm going to do the exact same, but this one is a really thin section, so I'm really not going to hold it for long, especially the ends because they're wispy. That's it. It just needs a little press. And then this section, I'm going to be extra careful again. I want to match it up with the wave on this side. So if the first wave was here, I'm gonna try and imitate that on the other side. And try not to burn myself. So right about there, 1, 2, 3, done. And then I'll try and pull it down a little bit. I think we got it right where we needed it to be. And then I'm just going to pull on this to smooth it out because I don't want the front piece to be as defined. So if I can pull out a little bit of the wave, that's good. And that is it. So as you can see, the hair that I started off with got a huge kick of volume, and the ends are still smooth and it's still soft. And the best part is, as this falls out day by day, it's actually gonna look better and better because the wave's still gonna be retained, but it's just gonna be softer. So you can go longer without washing your hair if need be, and definitely without restyling it. So I love doing this technique. It's so quick. You don't have to be super focused on it. You don't have to be really intentional because the more messy it is, the better it looks. If you would like to pick up your own wave iron, I will include the link to my Amazon store down below. You can pick up whatever size barrel you want. The one that I use is the 32 barrel, but they also have 25mm and smaller. So just choose according to the wave pattern that you want. I like it a little loose and undone. And that is all. I really hope you liked this really quick tutorial. If you did, I would love if you could take a moment to like and subscribe below, and also leave me a comment on what you would like to see next or what I could have improved upon on this video so that I can get better and better for you over time. But other than that, I will see you soon. Bye.